Hey guys, this is Deconic, and we are going to be very quickly going over the Atlas tree I plan to use today on League Star for Necropolis League. This is going to be a one take with minimal editing, just so I can get the video out faster and before actual launch. So it might end up being a bit rambling in some places, but bear with me. I am also going to be pointing out a few Scarabs I can see running with this strategy if their prices are not too high, and potentially just if I feel like other Scarabs that are interesting in general. So first things first, we are going to be going over how I plan the path. I plan to pick up this node first. Like I actually just plan to get here. Then I'll go up here. The reason being, this node on its own is like what, a 30-40% chance of getting June. So just by doing this, I can easily get my initial unveils and potentially some Katarinas under my belt before I even get to like red maps. Then this tree is going to focus more on getting maps, so we're going to go straight here, getting Karak missions. I don't know why they swapped the Karak mission passives, but they're now on the right and not the left. Kind of fooled me at first, but that's a story for another day. So we'll get the 1%, get this. We're actually going to get these 3 nodes just so we can sustain our maps better. And we're going to be lining for the 20 Atlas passive node on Wavering Visions. This node is going to stop us from getting Scarabs in our maps, and we cannot use Scarabs or anything else to modify our maps. But the advantage of this is we just get 20 extra points that we are already broke at this point in the league, so we don't want to spend on Scarabs. But this is not as big of a downside as you think, and the reason being, we're still going to be getting Scarabs from June because there's a lot of Scarab rewards towards the end of like this safe house running. So we're going to be going for June. So from here, we're going to go for more chance to get June. So this is obviously more maps. And then we get this node. This allows us to get more bargains, which allows us to get higher ranked members a bit easier. We're going to get the intelligence one. I think the intelligence one's actually up there. Yeah, so we'll get the intelligence ones next. Then we complete getting more maps. Then we actually go from here to get this one, and then we do all the extra, like all the extras we didn't need to do, like here, because we actually path down to get to this area. Then we'll take these ones and all of that, because now we're done with getting our betrayal points. I did not fill in more points into this tree just so it is flexible. So if you guys wanted, you could actually take this tree and then use with your strategies. If you want to do expedition, it's actually not that hard. I think expedition is like on this side of the tree. Yep. You even get June and expedition right beside each other, so very efficient. Anyways, that's this tree. You get to do whatever you want. The next tree, however, this is going to be my second tree, and this is going to be more farming for endgame. So you will notice there's a lot more map effects being taken here, because I expect at this point my build can handle some map effect at least. We are going for June and we are going for Breach. I have not made up my mind to go on Breach, but the biggest reason I plan on going on Breach is because on my Spectre build that I plan on League starting, one of the uniques I use in the endgame version is an Onetal's Vow that would allow me to 7-link with my chess piece, and it's typically very expensive. So the idea is get, you know, your Chayula, Breach, whatever's, they're expensive, then just farm. They can actually drop from any of the bosses in their Breach stones or whatever, so it doesn't matter who you get. So just that's why we only go for Chayula here. Then we go for chance to Breach, chance to use Syndicate. Another reason, I guess another reason for Breach would be June still has it that fled, and or is it Coral? One, I think it's it that fled. It that fled in research, I believe, gives a map crafting option for pure Breach stones or whatever. So basically, when you run Breach stones, your rares they drop like 3 extra unique or 3 extra items or something like that, something weird. But yeah, you can more efficiently farm Breach when you're farming June. So that's that. We're also going for the league mechanic. We go for this circle. We're going for this. We actually plan on going for these two because I see meta mod crafting outcomes being expensive, and I also see modifier tier ratings being premium. I hope they are common. I really do, because then it would allow us to really craft some really strong items earlier. But if they are not, then they are going to be very expensive, and this should be a very good like income node all around. Early on, when you don't have full points, you obviously want to pass through here, pick up all flame, and then this tree also focuses a bit on Scarab, but I'll touch on the kind of intricacies I have with the Scarab nodes that were picked later on. We go for red altars, there in Exarch. We come down here just to get some more Scarabs. We come here just to get here for additional Necropolis things. We could even skip all of this and go through here early and then just respec once we have more points. Either way, there is however, like I said, there is an idea around the Scarabs. So going on the Scarab points, I have a lot of nodes that give you increased chance to drop Scarabs. We have this one that allows us to drop less common varieties. We have this one that makes the final boss drop additional Scarabs. We have this one that goes for rare monsters for each modifier affecting them. So the idea is you're going to drop a lot of Scarabs, right? But remember how there's one that allows the final boss drop an additional Scarab, and we pick up this one, and this is the reason we pick up this one. We are going to be fully clearing them out more or less, because we plan on running like Strand. We plan on running Strand and potentially City Square. But this City Square strategy is going to be you leave the final bosses for last, not you don't beeline into them, you leave them for last. This is kind of counterintuitive for Exarch altars, and the reason is with Exarch altars you really want to kill the boss first, so you actually have more chance to get like monster modifiers and whatever. But it is what it is. But the idea is this increases quantity from the map boss. This makes it so they have a chance to drop additional Scarabs, and then this makes it so they drop 200%. They have an 200% increased chance to drop Scarabs. So when you kill them at the end with all these modifiers, I think on a map by map basis, you should be getting big like Scarab explosions, kind of like reminiscent of Affliction League. This is still, it could be wrong. It could be wrong, but I think this could be a very strong combo, and I definitely see some more people going for it. It all depends on your strategy. If you're a boss rushing strategy, you don't want to get this one, and you probably still want to get the other ones because you will still drop Scarabs. You just wouldn't have that extra oomph to it with wisps, you know. And then for the Scarabs, there are a couple of Scarabs I find very interesting, and let's go first to the Betrayal Scarabs. With the Betrayal Scarabs, if I can find them, yo, where are they? Am I blind? Weren't there 4 of them? So they should be down here. Oh, there we go. They're here. Yeah, just blind. So increase intelligence. This is very interesting. I don't know if we would actually want to run it, because the way Betrayal works right now is you actually want to be intentional with your tree and put people in certain places. And people have speculated that it is going to be a Dash for Katarina type situation going on right now. And I don't know how much of this I believe, but if it does end up being a Dash to Katarina, is more profitable than being in any way intentional with your tree, other than get all the tier 3s you can. Like if that's the situation, then this is going to be really big, especially when paired with this node right here, the 10% increase intelligence for Immortal Syndicate safe out, or for clearing the boss of your maps. Yeah, when paired with that should just give us wasn't it like 25 intelligence on a random one every single time, so we should be able to beeline it really quick. Then what else? Then there was this one. This one, defeated Immortal Syndicate targets are in the area have a 50% chance to drop an additional Scarab. This one obviously will not go on the first one, because the first one stops Scarabs from dropping, but with the second tree, this is just more Scarabs. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just really good. And then I think there's one that allows them to have an increased chance to be accompanied by reinforcements. I don't know that this one would be one you would want to use, simply because you will only have like 4 Scarab spots, and we haven't touched Breach yet. Because like going through Breach, this is big, just having more clasped hands. Then more Breach Splinters means more bosses. More bosses means more tries at the amulet I plan on going for. So like these are really, really good options. Contains the Breach Lord. This paired with, I think there was a node that says Breach Lords have a chance. Where was it? Anyways, something along the lines of they have a chance of dropping a unique item, a Breach Stone. So again, the goal is to get to that final boss of the Breach Stones. Anyone, doesn't matter, you just want to get to the final boss. So like anything that gives you more splinters, more whatever, you want to do it. And there's the Dreamer. I think this 100% you always want to run, but and this is key. I think this node is actually going to lower the price of Chayula. So who knows where Breach will actually be? And there is, and I guess I should have said this earlier, but there is a chance I do not go Breach for my second mechanic, and that is just depending on the prices. You know, I don't know what Scarabs are going to be good. I don't know depending on what Scarabs are going to be good, that will determine what I shoot for with Betrayal. That determines why I go for my second mechanic. Because if Breach, for example, is very, very just not profitable anymore, like this is a silver Scarab, so I assume it's a more common variety, right? It means Chayula Stone should be a lot more common, and as such, Breach prices might be lower in general. So if it's not as profitable, I'm not gonna go Breach. But again, this is just my like pre-strategy. Cartography also are really good. If you don't mind running 8 mods, or if you like running, if you don't mind buying maps, this is a good option. You just get free tier 16 8 mod maps, and with that you're selling them for profit, because you'd buy your maps way cheaper than you sell them. And then there's the one that increases your tier. This one is going to be very, very, very expensive in the first few days, like very expensive. And then afterwards, not so much. But when people are going to want this Scarab so much, and this is the only reason I got tempted to actually pick up with this node right here that gives you Cartography Scarabs. But I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe early on in this tree's life, I might opt for getting it. But I don't know. We'll see. It's a case by case. Feel free to ask me any questions on the stream, because I actually plan on streaming very long hours during this league start to actually play and test the build that I made a video about. So feel free to ask me what my current thoughts are at any moment, and I'll be happy to answer. Then there is these Scarabs, all of them, all the horn Scarabs. I don't think there's a single one that I don't think will not be overpriced. I do not think there's a single one. And I think there was one that actually, this one is going to be really good, especially on minions. And the reason being is, like, personally, I never run Magic Find ever, but by having this simple one, I might as well be Magic Find. Not that it's going to be as good as like going full Magic Find, because it might not be, seeing as it obviously stops your modifier. So Magic Find characters don't want this. But as a minion player, or even just players in general, it means you can actually go for quantity and rarity without sacrificing character power, and that is big. And I think that's all for Scarabs. That's all for the strategy. That's all for everything. So again, this was a one take. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below if you have any ideas for intricate interactions with the new passive trees. What Scarabs you think will be expensive, you know, stuff like that. But I look forward to hearing from you. And again, thank you for watching. See ya.